Hey y'all, welcome to the channel that brings you multidimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view, and that they're not for a specific time but should resonate with you whenever you come across them. I'm thirsty. Better. I can't remember how far I was into the introduction. So this is a channel that brings you multidimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view, and they're not for a specific time, but should resonate with you whenever you come across them. I should also stop putting the disclaimer that I hardly edit. I ain't into editing. That's why most things make it in here. But okay. Unless I'm like speaking in like home language, then after the Nzunza video, I make it a point to like just add a translation. But okay, anyways, today our video is about the archetype, not about, but it is facilitated by the archetype Kali from the Hindu pantheon. If you do not know Kali, you can look her up on Google. I say her, she is portrayed as a feminine, but you know, however the archetype comes to you, cool. Don't be restricted by the pictures that you see on Google. Some of you, if you are hearing about Kali for the first time or seeing her, like, you know, when you Google her for the first time, you might be like, we're going too far. This is satanic. Like, it's cool, I get it. Take a step back, like, you know, allow yourself to feel comfortable should you get to the point where you feel comfortable. Ask your inner guides, you know, have an inner conversation about it. Sometimes maybe you're just scared that you do resonate and you're like, why does this resonate with me? What does this say about me? Oh my god. It says you're a multidimensional being, and if you carry on within your Google search, you'll realize that this archetype is an archetype that assists us beings, humans, with breaking down things that have us in bondage, basically, like breaking our chains to whatever attachments that are holding us back from having a more expanded point of view. So yeah, if you're asking what this has to do with human character development, transmutation is one of the most important things that you can do, because transmutation allows you to, when you come across an issue or a problem, to, yes, be the one who the problem and issue is occurring or happening to, but to also be able to be outside of yourself and have this other perspective that frees you from this bondage of this smaller reality that you were living within. How do you do this? This is the big thing. This is what I never hear people talking about. How do you do this? How do you transmute? A lot of people, when going through certain issues that are challenging and so forth, you try your best like to run from the situation. You try your best to kind of like avoid the situation. You know, it could be anything. Some of you try to not deal with the situation. For instance, let's say it's a relationship and you fought with someone and you don't really want to deal with how you feel internally, so you keep blowing up this person's phone. You're that person that will call a person like 20 times, instead of allowing yourself some space, and allowing yourself to realign after whatever it is that has just happened. If anything, allowing yourself to go through the process, like go through the pain. Like, we're not kids anymore, we're not 10. Come on guys, like go through it. I'm not advocating for like, you know, like purposely make yourself cry or like go through pain. No, I'm talking about specific situations, and I'm trying to explain to you how transmutation works. It's about allowing yourself to go through the feeling. You might not be able to do it at one go. You might have to, you know, like do some of this tomorrow, the next day. But it's about when the feeling comes, when the feeling approaches you, you stand up to it, because this is not a stranger. This is an aspect of you. This feeling of abandonment, this feeling of not being good enough, this feeling of I can't live without this person. That desperation, that's you. That's an aspect of you. So you trying to run away from that by calling someone's phone 50 times, or you trying to run away from that by hooking up with your ex, or by blowing all your money, like, that's not gonna help. That's no. So basically, yeah, this does tie into human character development in the sense that we break you away from all these habits, yo, that have you going in cycles and going through dumb karmic shit because you don't yet get it, you don't yet see it. And you don't yet get it or not see it, not because you're dumb or you're stupid or you're spiritually blind. No, it's because you won't even let yourself begin the process. You won't even let yourself begin the process of transmutation, which is looking at this issue like face to face, like letting it touch you. And like, yeah, it burns, it's painful to see this aspect of you, like, oh my god, like, it is. And it's not a 1 day thing, and it's not a 30-day thing. It's like a lifestyle. It's something that you start to do manually, but as you become more enlightened, as reality becomes clearer to you, it takes on an automative, like, persona, and transmutation becomes automatic, which is allowing yourself to go through the feeling. At the end of this I think is what they call the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, okay, I know that also refers to death. Maybe that's not, let's not connect that. So at the end of this, it's weird because it doesn't kill you, by the way. That's the thing. Because you think this feeling is going to kill you. It hurts so much. You're like, nah, no, I'm not going through with this. But what happens is that actually it doesn't kill you. And what is left in the end is this version of you without this pain. And you are so shocked. This version of you without the desperation, because it exists. You didn't know it exists. You weren't willing to even begin the walk, the journey. And yeah, and then at that moment you freed yourself from one layer of a lower energy that you have no need for, but that was draining your energy and making you look like a dumbass. So with that said, let us get into some tarot cards. And so yeah, basically this reading is centered around transmutation, learning how to transmute, and kind of like invoking the archetype Kali to assist you with this. Please don't be afraid to do that. Again, I know that images from the internet and Google might make it seem like a lot for some people, but for those of you who are comfortable, who are familiar with the energy, you know what's up. Like, you can light a candle and work with Kali. You know that you can light some incense and work with Kali. So get on that, you guys, and ask just for some guidance within transmutation, because I feel like a lot of you, yeah, it's true. A lot of you are dealing with blockages, but it's blockages of things that you've gone through many times. Like, you've gone through so many times. You should have, like, you should have made a breakthrough by now. And the only reason you haven't made a breakthrough is that you're afraid to face the feeling. You're afraid to accept yourself within that light. But it's not your whole self. It's just a small aspect of yourself. Like, yes, this aspect of yourself that feels like it needs love from this particular whatever abusive person that you're with, maybe, and this person is not good for you, or this person doesn't treat you right. It can even be a friend. Like, this friend always talks shit about you behind your back, or like when you do well, they're like not really happy for you, and yet you keep hanging out with them because you feel like maybe you don't feel like you're cool if when you're not with them. I know that happens to people in relationships too. Like, you've been in a relationship for so long, you feel like, who am I outside of this relationship? And that kind of really hinders you from leaving. So that's why we're invoking the archetype of Kali, because she breaks the bondage, the unwanted bondage. I know how y'all is. Okay, let's get into some tarot. I love this. Wow. Okay. So I'm getting in the past, right? So the people I'm talking to, I'm getting that most of you are familiar with Kali and you have kind of worked with her in the past in order to, for her to help you to let go of things that, during the era of let go of things that no longer serve you. Like during that era, you have worked with Kali, like, and like, yeah, you did that. So basically, right now, this is like another level. I love this because I got like a representation from my deck. This is the High Priestess of Fire, and this is representing Kali, and this is about beauty, finding the beauty of your fire. Like, I know this is scary, especially for a lot of feminines. Like, I didn't mean that. I meant for a lot of women, especially for a lot of women. It's scary. Like your passion sometimes it's so hot, like you feel like it could burn a village. And it's so important for you to kind of keep yourself like composed, like type of thing, It's like those of you who are like bombing someone's phone and shit, like that shit tears you apart afterwards because like it feels like a moment where you're unraveling and you feel like I'm sure, yeah, the people I'm talking to, you might use words like, you being gaslighted and like you're with a narcissist and all that stuff. I urge you, and this is the message for you, detach from that kind of stuff. Detach from seeing yourself as a victim and seeing the other person as a perpetrator. Like, I'm not saying they are, and I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying just detach from that notion right now. Like, detach from that idea right now. Right now, allow your heart to be broken. I don't know what to tell you. And maybe that sounds shitty, like you're crazy. But yeah, allow your heart to be broken so that you can begin to heal. Like you know this isn't working. Whatever you're going through, you know it's not working. So allow your heart to be broken. Allow yourself to communicate to yourself that this is not good. This is not what you want. And allow yourself to feel that pain. You're not a 5-year old, and you're not like, like in Rick and Morty, where he says, like, we're not animals that are getting prepared to be eaten. Because then I understand why we can't have a little bit of terror, a little bit of pain, a little bit of heartache. Like, you're not that. You're not some animal that's going to the slaughter. You don't have to be afraid of heartbreak. You're a human being who is designed to take emotions like this and propel yourself to a stage in your life that is more expansive and with more options where you don't ever have to pick this option again. Like, we're beings that absorb information and and transmit it into our 3D reality. So as soon as you get over this, that healing will transmit itself into your reality and you'll never have to go through this again. But for God's sake, grow up and let it burn for just a little bit, and then you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. And yeah, I'm sorry if that sucks for some people. Like, if you expect like the spiritual stuff to be easy, or if you expect the transmutation to be easy, it's not. It's not. But as far as I know, the people on this path, I mean, that was not the point. The easy path was not the point. Like, we wanted to be better versions of ourselves. We wanted to be white gold versions of ourselves, and it was like, whatever the cost. Like, yeah. Um, submit your lower energies to your higher energies. Like, sacrifice your lower self to your higher self. Um, you know what I'm saying. Um, so one of the biggest ways, I was saying that like a lot of you have worked with Kali before, and one of the new ways in which you're gonna work with her archetype now, for those of you who are familiar, is that she's going to okay, you guys are being comfortable enough. This is a separate group, obviously. It might even still be the same group because, like, two truths can exist, like, at the same time. You could be going through both things at the same time. So there's this individuality and listening card, and this just talks about literally the way you shine. This just talks about the way you express yourself and how it is magnetic and how it is. It's true. It's true. It's pure, and it attracts the most weirdest like experiences for you. And Kali is kind of going to okay, whatever shackles you have left on your sense of self are going to be burned away by you, by your shine, by you allowing yourself, like expressing yourself, like by you expressing yourself in your most authentic and in your most natural way. You have this fearlessness that like is threaded into your everyday life, and it's going to be amplified into your personality, into your persona, into your mask, into the version of you that deals with the collective. And yeah, it's weird. Like, yo, they're about to eat it up. Like, it's weird. It's like the collective really responds well to you. Um, and that frees you from anything else that's left on you that is not you. You understand? You are, it's almost like you're doing a final disconnect, a final cleanse, if you might, for some of you, a final disconnect, a final cleanse of, I'm seeing like wires that were attached to you, then drawing energy from you, and you were not even aware. Like you were feeding certain thought patterns and emotional patterns and certain circumstances without even being aware of it. But it's like, with the help of this archetype, you've been able to, which is to say, with the help of the aspect of yourself that's not afraid to be itself, you were able to disconnect from these wires. You're just gonna also, you might realize just people acting really weird about around you. Weird how we're like attention seeking weird. Like attention seeking weird, which is fucked up because it can also be like someone wanting to start a fight just because they just want your attention. But even that's like, even that is not gonna affect you. um Let me draw some tarot quick. Those were oracle cards. I'm actually enjoying this session, even though I don't usually do sessions this long. My sessions are getting longer. You guys must be liking my face. Yeah, can I tell you, there was a time when you thought that you couldn't make it. There was a time when you thought that you couldn't make it without specific people. You've got the Strength card and you've got the Nine of Wands. There was a time when you thought that you couldn't make it without specific people, and then when you kind of realized that maybe these people were not on your side, or this person was not on your side the way you thought, you stood up for yourself. Like with the Strength card, it's coming across as courage, and this Nine of Wands. And I think what you didn't realize is how much you're backed. You're backed by a lot of like spiritual power, and just like I mentioned this in the archangel reading. What I call your power is your connection to the divine. Your connection to the source, like to source, is so strong. It's so fortified. It's so legit. Like, and there was a time when you weren't aware of that, when you thought that you were fighting on your own and you weren't aware of what's behind you. But now it's different. Now that which this Yeah, so this connection I keep talking about when I say your power, this connection to source, it's going to manifest in a 3D form, or it's going to manifest. It's gonna break down into your entire reality, like this Three of Wands. So people are gonna be able to look at your life, and they're gonna be able to see, even now, though, even now, your life reflects the connection that you have with Source. That's why you shine. You've got the Ten of Cups, guys, and you've got the Ace of Pentacles. Like, but now it's like, due to awareness, there's a new awareness that you also have, and it's just going, yeah, it's, it's almost like the last push, like when you're having a baby and they're like, last push, and literally, last push and the baby comes out, this is it. Like, there's this last push happening, and it's like, I don't know, certain things in your reality just like, yeah, like I said, basically reflect the connection that you have with source. Can I tell you? So this card, I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be real. So this Ace of Pentacles, it talks about like a windfall of like financial gain or something like that. And this is about like fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. So material fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. Like again, your connection with Source is about to reflect itself in your 3D life, right? Not even after, but simultaneously at the same time as you burn away these last shackles that the morphogenetic field had on you. Basically, you're just starting to see things clearer, is what I'm seeing. Like, you're just starting to get a clearer perspective of everything. Yeah, hold up. I wanted to find this quote for you, like that I got from wherever the other day. So this guy was like, if you want to get behind the fake explanation of how our world comes to be as it is, then you must find the facts for yourself. Like basically, I feel like this is what's happening within you. It's like you've initiated like this kind of program within you, and yeah, green means go. Green means go. Green means go. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. And like yeah, hope that resonated. Later.